Hello, my name is Ralf Friedrichs. I am an addiction recovery coach and the host of the Take Your Life Back Today show. As an addiction recovery coach, I want to share something with you, and let me be crystal clear to leave an everlasting impact upon you. Imagine, you've been buried alive. You're in the coffin, but you know you're not dead. You don't know how to get out of that coffin, so you start thinking maybe if I try to lift the lid up, it'll open. But then you realize the enormous weight that's on top of that lid prevents you from doing so. You just think, I'm going to die. Then you say, maybe if I bang on the coffin, it'll unsettle the dirt that's laying on top of the lid, and maybe, just maybe, somebody will notice on top and start digging their way down to help me. This is what it's like to find yourself at the lowest point of alcohol and drug addiction. You know you need help. You know you can't do it on your own, but you don't know where to turn. In reality, I can guarantee you people are probably standing by your grave. But you don't know that. You just are waiting for death. Usually, though, people don't think about death when they're habitually abusing drugs and alcohol. In order to feed an addiction, you have to be good at repressing the fear of death. I often ask you, my audience, did it ever cross your mind that maybe, just maybe, you might overdose by abusing drugs and alcohol, that you would take your life that was given to you by the Lord Jesus, not only away from you, but away from your loved ones, away from your friends? With this, let me leave one last thought with you. Don't be the person on these index cards that didn't reach out for help in time, that waited until it was too late then to start thinking about reaching out for help. Instead, be a person that reaches out for help today. Call me at 844-405-HELP and let me help take your life back. My friend, before your life is gone. There are other people like Larry Geis from the Geis Academy at 516-458-2741. 516-458-2741. Larry Geis is an addiction recovery coach, a life coach. He will help you from your addiction to your recovery, from your low self-esteem to improved self-esteem, from depression to happier times. He and I always tell you, our clients, it doesn't matter where you came from. It doesn't matter where you've been. What matters is that you are reaching out for help, asking for it today. Not like the person on these index cards we just read about. The person that's laying in the coffin now, waiting for death to arrive. You are reaching out by calling Larry at 516-458-2741 and let Larry help take back your life. Larry can also be found at www.odysseyconsultant.org. Larry has over 30 years experience on helping people like you and me. Reach out to Larry Geis at 516-458-2741, www.odysseyconsultant.org, and let Larry Geis help you take back your life. Folks, if you're watching my video and it seems a little blurry, it's not the quality of the video, it's the effectiveness of your glasses, and maybe it's time for a new RX. Go retrieve either a present RX or go to a doctor and get a new RX, and then come back, go to your website, go to www.globaleyeglasses.com and look at over 1,200 metal, plastic, half frame, full frame, no frame at all that they have. You'll see lenses like progressive no-line bifocals, line bifocals. You'll see transitions, photochromatics. You'll see anti-reflective coating, UV coating, and anti-scratch coating. You'll see polarized lenses. You'll see high-index lenses. You'll see shatterproof lenses, all available at www.globaleyeglasses.com. When I started advertising for them over a year ago, one of the reasons I took them aboard for a commercial is because I've been in the optometry business for over 30 years, and I am here to help you place the order. I will help make sure you pick the proper frames with the proper lenses for you, for your special need. And when you do, call me. And I advise you, I'll give you a code, so when you check out at www.globaleyeglasses.com, you'll get free shipping. Give me a call at 631-599-0218. Go to www.globaleyeglasses.com. Let them focus on saving you money. Today's topic is 5 natural reasons why life is hard. Not can be hard, is hard. We're selfish, emotional hypocrites, but somehow we all get by. Life is hard. You already knew that, I'm guessing, that you face challenges each and every day. But life is not impossible, and life is wonderful, ultimately. But still, it is hard, and an evolutionary psychology can help us understand why. Evolution psychology go to GEHR, that's GEHER, on the internet, and you'll find what it's all about. But evolution psychology is an approach to understanding human psychological processes and behavior that sees humans as importantly part of the natural world and sees our psychological systems as shaped by evolutionary forces across deep time. For the lion's share of evolution history, humans lived in nomadic groups of approximately 150 individuals, including both kin and non-kin. Exercise was essential every day. Famine was common. Premature mortality was common. Disease and death from predation were parts of everyday life. Life has always been hard for our kind, always, and it hasn't changed yet. And no matter how cushy your life may be in some ways today, life is still hard for our kind. Below are 5 reasons why you may find daily life challenges, as understood by the evolutionary psychology. And here are the 5. We'll start with number 5. You've got a selfish streak in you. We all do. From the evolutionary perspective, organisms that pass the test of natural selection are those that are ancestors with qualities that are facilitated their own survival and reproduction. To a large extent, all organisms evolved with a suite of physical and behavioral qualities that primarily benefits themselves. This is why you are motivated to eat when you are hungry. The basic drive benefits you and helps you survive. Hunger is a basic adaptation that works similarly to all of us. Our psychology includes a host of processes and drives such as hunger, and primary benefits are self. Our ancestors who took care of themselves were more likely than others to become ancestors. To some extent, all basic survival adaptations can be seen as a biological foundations of selfish approach in life. And if you're reading this or listening to it on my video, then you, like me and like everyone else, have a host of such evolved features that serve to primarily benefit each other, benefit you and benefit me. Number 4, we all are hypocrites. No one likes to be called a hypocrite. It is an insult in all contexts and its meaning. It's like being told, you stink. You did X, but you said Y, and we saw it all. Haha, we got you now. But as Kurzban, Kurzban, go Google that, famously pointed out, we've all got the tendency in us to be hypocritical. It's not like there are the bad people in the world, the hypocrites, and then there are good ones who are never all that hypocritical. That's not at all how things work. We all are hypocrites. Hypocrisy is a complex phenomenon often characterized by a person's experience X in our brain system and Y in another brain system. Once you've reached a certain point in life, you've got plenty of things in your brain that are inconsistent with other things that are in there. That's just how it is, and the fact makes life hard. Number 3, free will is sort of wishful thinking. There are enormously powerful factors beyond it that affect all human behavior. We love to believe in free will, and I'd say it's important to do so in our daily lives. We need a concept of free will to hold others and ourselves accountable. But scientific psychology is all about the documentation of factors that govern behavior beyond simple free will. The evolutionary psychological perspective suggests dozens of causes of everyday behaviors that are beyond just free will. For instance, if a supervisor at work hires his nephew instead of another more qualified candidate, he partly chose that outcome, but he also may unconsciously be demonstrating kin-selected altruism or a tendency to over-benefit kin in decisions. He may have convinced himself that his nephew really was the best candidate, in spite of all the other evidence that's pointing towards the other one. This kind of thing happens all the time. In Little League, kids often get great field positions and nice places at the batting order. And few coaches would admit that they are engaging in unconsciously determining what evolutionary shaped nepotism. You control your behavior, but only to a point. And there are lots of evolved forces to work that control your behavior along whatever free will you've got. And that is what makes life hard again. Number 2 on the list, we are all emotional. Emotions have their ups and downs. Some days, wouldn't it be great to just be Mr. Spock from Star Trek? But you're probably not a Vulcan. You've got a human emotion system, like it or not. Since Darwin's 1872 famous treatise on the evolutionary nature of emotions across species, including our own, scholars have been able to conceptualize human emotions as deeply rooted in our evolved past with roots that precede the evolution for primates, and as having important adaptive functions, therefore. Consider anxiety. I'm guessing that you don't love feeling anxious. I don't, but anxiety exists in our species because it is so darn adaptive. Anxiety motivates people to get themselves out of dangerous situations. For example, if you're hiking and you almost slip and almost fall off the cliff, you might feel anxious, and that anxiety will keep you away from the edge of that cliff, will keep you away from climbing like that again. Last but not least, number 1, it's not always easy to get along, although we all should really try. Wouldn't it be peachy if everyone just got along in all sorts of groups? That would be great, but did you ever notice that there is no such thing that goes anywhere in the world that we all get along? There are tons of reasons based on human evolution that accounts for this fact. In each group, each individual has his or own interest at stake, and these only align partly with the interests of a broader group or interests of others within that group. This goes back to people all having a splash of selfishness embedded in them. Further, like many species, humans tend to have dominance that emerge in many group contents. So just like a pack of dogs, people in a group will work to reach the top of the totem pole, often stepping on the backs of each other, often stabbing each other in the back, and often trying to bring down those above them. Is this good or bad? Often it's just simply our evolved nature, but it's still bad. These were the 5 natural reasons why life is hard. Let's just go over them one more time. You've got a selfish streak in you. We all do. From the evolutionary perspective, organisms that pass through the test of natural selection are those that had ancestors with qualities that facilitate their own survival and reproduction. We all, whether you like it or not, have a selfish streak. Number 4 was we all are hypocrites. Isn't it an insult when somebody calls you a hypocrite? Because what they're saying is that you did X, but you said Y. If you did X, you should have done X. You should have not done Y. That makes you a hypocrite. We all are hypocrites. Hypocrisy is a complex phenomenon often characterized by persons experience X in one brain system and Y in the other brain system. Once you've reached a certain point in life, you've got plenty of things in your brain that are inconsistent with other things in there. That's just how it is, and that's what makes life hard. Number 3 was free will is sort of wishful thinking. There are enormously powerful factors beyond the effect of human behavior. We love to believe in free will, and I'd say it's important to do so in our daily lives. We need a concept of free will to hold others and ourselves accountable. But scientific psychology is all about the documentation of factors that govern behavior beyond simple free will. The evolutionary psychological perspective suggests dozens of causes of everyday behaviors that are beyond our free will, beyond our control. Number 2 was we all are emotional. Emotions have their ups and downs. Some days, wouldn't it be great just to be Mr. Spock, but you're not a Vulcan. You've got a human emotion system, like it or not. Since Darwin's 1872 famous treatise on the evolutionary nature of emotions across species, including our own, scholars have been able to look at human emotions as deeply rooted in our evolved past with roots that precede the evolution of primates, and B, as having important adaptive function. Consider anxiety. I am guessing that we all love feeling anxious. When you walk by a cliff and you step on the edge of that cliff and you almost fall, you will become so anxious never to walk that close again. Number one on the list, it's always easy to get along. It's not always easy to get along. I wish it was always easy to get along. Wouldn't it be peachy if everyone just got along? And it would be, because I would love to see a better world where everybody gets along. If you're in a different part of the country and you want to live a certain way, you should be able to do that. If you're working with people at work and they do things differently, they should be able to do that. Why is it that we all have to judge each other? Why is it that we all have to make remarks to each other? Why is it that we have to be jealous of each other? Why isn't it that we can all just get along? And the reason is because that's human nature. It is unfortunate, but it's the truth of the matter. You can only try the best you can to be a better person. You can only try to reach out to your higher power, in my case God, to ask for forgiveness when you are on that jealous streak, when you have hate towards another person, when you have lied, cheated another person. Let today be a new day. Let today be the first day of your new life. Let today be a day that you take back your life. I hope to God, no matter where you're watching me, you have the best day of your life. I hope to God that wherever you're watching me, you have a sober rest of your life. And I hope to God, no matter where you're watching me, you don't have a hard rest of your life. And may God bless you.